Should we intro these bitches?
Should we start? Yeah, here we go. Ready?
They're gonna... Oh, wait. My beat dropped out. And it's really hard to freestyle without a beat. I'm just a joke to you. I'm just a joke.
I'm sorry. You're not a joke. It brings me so much joy every time you do it.
You didn't even get to hear it. You didn't even get to hear it, so I don't know what.
I'm ready. I got it. Ready?
No, I'm done. No. You guys will get to hear a freestyle next week. This week, thank your lame ass intro for this.
Guys, sorry.
Hi, chitters. Welcome to episode, I think, 14. Holy shit balls. I know.
Dude, that's kind of cool.
Thanks for being here for 14 times. You came...
That's impressive. For those, I feel like we should give a gift to those of you who have listened to all
But how
14.
can we track if they've actually listened? We should make a quiz. Let's make a quiz for them.
That's awesome. I make reading comprehension quizzes for my students. It'd be like a listening comprehension quiz.
Ooh, yes. I love that.
Little Sofinance lore.
Did you actually listen to a word?
Did you actually listen to our podcast? Yes or no?
So, thanks for being here for episode 14. If you're new here, welcome. Everything we say is just a jokey joke. It's just a silly joke until we say, I'm serious. And then you'll know that we're serious. Follow along. Just hit that little follow button because me and Ansley don't want to work anymore. We decided today, we were talking business, and I said, Ansley, I think that I am tired of working. I'm tired of being a laborer. Capitalism, the American dream, I don't like it. And I just want to be an artist, okay? And I just want to get paid to talk to my friend and then also frolic along and maybe do an audition and be able to pay my rent. And I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't think it's too much. Along those lines, we have a very special message right now. Luke Melton! We have our first Patreon subscriber.
Luke, you're awesome.
We have a true funder of the arts. Our coffee this morning was brought to you by Luke fucking Melton, y'all. And we thank you. And we cheers to Luke Melton. Our first Patreon subscriber. And so, I don't know, it inspired me. Sue me. I got dollar signs in my eyes. And I got a dream in my heart. And I said, someone paid for this. And so I will continue to try to get others so that I may have endless cups of coffee while I talk to my best friend. Sue me.
And genuinely though, shout out to Luke.
Genuinely
You're
Luke.
incredible. My jaw dropped when Sophie texted me that.
So cute.
I couldn't
so
just
unfathomable.
I was so touched.
We are touched. And
along those lines, what we're actually going to do with this, yes, it pays for coffee.
Very exciting
not
announcement.
Really, because that's not really what we're using it for. What we're going to do is we are going to purchase our guest mic because Sophie and I really want to do guest. Thank you, Luke.
So look out, y'all, this Christmas season or / New Year season, the new year is about to get wild. You all get ready because the mic is going to be purchased. Shipping is now paid for. Thank you, Luke Melton. And shit's about to go down.
Yes, down. Exactly. And along those lines. Oh.
What?
Wait, which side are you on? Because on my screen, you're this way. But is that wrong?
Yeah, I'm on this.
Yeah, okay.
But I told you it's always backwards. I never know where it's going to be. Yeah, we can't point at each other because...
Okay, the other thing that we decided is... Did we say the first 10? Is that what it is?
Oh, yes. Give them the announcements. First 10.
Was it 10? We also decided... The first...
Sorry.
The first 10...
First 10.
Who subscribe to our Patreon are going to be... On our podcast, are going to be our guests on our show.
You will be on the official on the official guest list. Of course, there's the first that we're ever going to have, which look out for it. It will be the matriarchs, if you will, of our friendships. The mentioned Sue and Lore. And those are going to be our first guests. I would like you to know
that my dad's offended.
That
I told him that.
Bruh, subscribe to the Patreon and then maybe. And then maybe Russ.
I told him this yesterday. I was like, so we're going to do a podcast with Mom and Laura. And he was like, why not me and Philip? And I was like, oh, don't worry. I'm sure we'll do that at some point. But it was so funny. He was like, what? Why aren't we on it?
Tell him to subscribe and then he's on the list. So yes,
first 10 VIPs.
After the main guest, you will immediately be added to the list of top priority guests.
So obviously, the first one
if you want to be on,
and obviously the first one will be Luke Melton.
Obviously,
there he is.
I'm grateful and I'm humbled, and that's what I have to say about that.
Grateful, humbled.
We're grateful and we're humbled.
Ansley
has something cool to say.
I do have something. I had a wonderful weekend. Favorite moment of this is kind of our favorite moment of the week. I feel like favorite moment of the week situation. So this weekend I have this really awesome friend here. Her name is Parker, and she used to be a barista, and she is a very good barista. And so what she does is once a season she has a little at-home cafe situation, and then we go to her home and she makes us drinks just because she can and because she loves us and because she's cool. And then we bring baked goods.
Hobby that I want to be doing.
Yeah, seriously though. And then we bring baked goods. I did not bring anything this time. I'll say it. I was dead weight. And then we just hang out and we laugh and we chat and we drink our little drinky drinks. And it's a wonderful time. And we chit the chat. And it's a wonderful time. So that was really cool. I also have I just have cool friends here. And the same day, we all got together, we made cinnamon rolls, we made a big pot of chili, and we played categories. And it was awesome. Oh. So it was just a good freaking time. Yeah, it was just a good freaking time. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't like, sometimes I know that I don't do things. I feel like I don't do normal things that people in their 20s do. But I'm really just, I love what I do.
Do tell.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of 20-year-olds...
kids that drink and do drugs. Those kids that are out there partying and dancing.
For both of us, though. Like, do normal 26-year-olds go to pumpkin patches with their 2 adult friends and just ride on the little rides? I don't know. Do 26-year-olds just, like, have a bunch of people aging from the range of 13 to 55 over to their home and have chili and cinnamon rolls to place categories? I don't know. Is that...
We don't know.
Let us know. If you're in your 20s, let us know what you do with your free time.
Let us know how you have some fun. And you know what? If it's dancing and clubbing and drinking and drugging, we won't judge. Say it.
We won't judge.
Let us know. We're taking a survey. Curious. What do 20-somethings do these days?
What do 20-somethings do?
I don't know. I feel like club culture's kind of done. Like, it was huge in the 90s, obviously, right? But someone said something to me the other day that I had never put together. I didn't know. He said he was, like, an older-ish man, as in, like, in his 40s. So, like, he was, like, peak club culture in the day. And he said as soon as the iPhone got created, it immediately pivoted. Because when you're in the club, you, like, have to talk to people. And that's why people in the 90s, like, loved it. Because you could go out and get human connection. You could bump and grind. And he said the important part of also why I was like, oh, that's also, of course, why we don't see celebrities half as much. They used to be out, you know what I mean? Out and about. And then it started where not only could you just, like, be in your phone against the wall and look at it from afar, but then you could start videoing everyone. And then he said that's just, like, where it died. Because everyone was just like, nah, this ain't it.
That's so disappointing,
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's like...
Well, I'll tell you what, clubbing culture is not dead here. So.
It's not dead. On those lines, actually, I'd like to propose a new section. A new moment for us of, like, we have our favorite of the week. Do we have any music you want to talk about? Which, speaking of music, we have to circle back. A new moment of, like, something that you stand on, or, like, that you just, like, have a thing about. And I know I'm explaining this horribly, so let me just say.
I was about to say, I need an example.
Yeah, and the chitters are going to be like, what is she talking about?
What?
What? That's definitely every time they listen, they're like, what?
What is she saying? What are they even saying?
So true,
So
though.
this week, here's the example of like either we can pick one or like next week you can pick one of just something that you want to like stand on. And I stand for, and I'm sure you will stand with me, of what's something that I will never do. I will never do cocaine. And I will never.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I feel like you don't need to say like I'll never do heroin. But like, I feel like there's. And that's why I'm like standing on it though, because some people, you know, they're just like, I do cocaine, like I'll try it
yeah.
once, or like,
No,
no,
people
it's just a
definitely say
party
that.
drug, or like even Molly, or like ecstasy, or any like pills, you know what I mean? Any pills. People are like, oh, I'll just party, like I'll just have some fun. I feel like I sound like a grandma right now, where I'm like, I won't do drugs, but I mean that's just like a personal thing, that it's like
Yeah.
I've decided that I will not be doing it. You know what I mean? And I feel like
No, I
I
agree
come
with
off,
that.
which apparently I come off as a partier. Did you know that? Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
I've, in several situations now, people
Well,
have been
and
like,
also,
wait,
I
you
feel
don't
like-
party?
No,
and I
okay,
guess
but
I just,
also I feel like you were like that in university and post as well. Like our friend groups were always like, oh, Sophie, like people would
Sophie's
come
on
up to you and be like,
cocaine.
oh, Sophie, come do this, because they just assumed you were into it.
I'm
And
a
I was always confused, and I was like,
crackhead.
why do you think she's going to go to that? That's
you
very
think
interesting.
just because I am an extrovert that I like to party? No. So yeah, that's just something that I don't want to do. I'm scared of it also, I think. It's more,
I'm
it's
so
not,
scared of it.
it's not actually what you think of like, I just don't want to do drugs. No, that's bad. It's actually, I'm just scared. Like I have weird, like, I'm scared of needles. Is that, and yeah,
Same.
I don't like things going into my body that I don't like know about. Do you know what I mean? And the thought of like injecting something, that's like crazy. But also like a pill of like, we don't know exactly what's in this.
Yeah.
Could be laced with something.
Yeah.
But then the act of sniffing something through your nose is actually like, I don't know, the germaphobe in me is
I
like,
could not.
in my
do
nose?
that.
Why is it in my nose? I can't. And sorry, I'm no fun. So yeah, I think we
couldn't.
should have a segment of like, just
Here's another
here's
thing,
what I
though.
stand on. Okay, what do
Here's
you stand
another
on?
thing that I will say off of that.
Oh, we're still on drugs.
When
yeah.
Sophie,
We
yeah,
love
I'm
to talk
still on
about
this.
drugs, y'all.
We do. It's a great time. Remember, core memory unlocked. Remember when Meg would make acrostics about drugs? Do you remember that?
Oh
she
my
was like,
God.
I'm thankful for, and she would make an acrostic. And
Guys,
it was actually, it would spell cocaine or
We
heroin
would try to
or
have
LSD.
nice moments. We would try to have nice little hashtag
I
live, laugh,
forgot
love
about that
moments.
until right now.
I totally did too. I never would have. Oh my god.
She would like post them on our doors.
and you'd think they would be like a Thanksgiving decoration.
So it would.
'Cause at
It
the
would
top
literally
it would
say
look
like
nice.
H. It would say hearth, and E would say earth, and R would say like, I don't know,
Radon.
rookies. Yeah, whatever it was, and it ended up. It was like they were all acrostics for
And she
drugs.
she would make it to where you're like, wait, why does that spell? Oh,
Right.
cocaine. Okay.
Yep.
Megan's thankful for cocaine. What a freak. That's funny.
Ah, that was so good. Anyway.
Okay, one last thing
No, wait. I wasn't done.
about
What was I
drugs.
gonna say?
We're still
Yes.
on
I wasn't
this,
done with my choice.
guys.
What I was gonna say is that when you said we're no fun, sorry, I was like, I heavily disagree because throughout mine and Sophie's entire lives, when we're together,
long lives.
people throughout our long lives of being best friends,
We're those annoying bitches that people think,
people
oh, they're
think
drunk.
we are on drugs, or people think we are drunk when we're together. No matter what time of day it is, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, people are just like, oh, you guys do drugs. And I think that's why in university, people would come up to us and they'd be like, hey,
Where to plug
where are you
at?
going? Where have you been? Like, where are
Where
your
can
spots?
we get some of that?
Exactly. And Sophie and I'd be like, our spots are dancing in the parking lot. And they were like, no, but like,
Where the
where's the
spots?
spots? You know what I'm
Where to
saying?
at, y'all?
So I think we're so much fun even without it, which I think is kind of a power move, actually.
Kind of. You wish you were cool as us. You wish you could be as cool as us.
Like, there was this one day,
Oh.
offshoot. I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast. Maybe we have. If we have, I'm sorry. There was this one day in freshman year of university. It was an iconic day. Sophie and I convinced a bunch of our friends
Oh my
to dress up like we were going to a luau.
Who thought of, like, do you remember
Definitely
why?
you.
But
No.
why? Was I just
I don't know.
random?
It was
I think
spring.
I was bored. I think I was
It was
bored
like
and I was
almost
like,
summer. It was like the very end of the year. It was
I
like
think I
probably
wanted to
May.
see if I could do it. I was like, can I
Probably.
convince people
So,
to
yeah.
randomly dress up?
And she did. So
I
there were
said-
probably like 9 of us girls who all dressed up in luau attire. And we're walking through our dorm. And everyone stops us. And they're like, where are you going?
Where's
Where's
the
the party?
party?
And we're like,
Where's
there
the
is
luau?
no party. And then they probably thought we were jerks because they were like, wait, where is it? And we were
They
like, no,
wanted
we're
to come
not.
to
It's
this
not a
party
party.
so bad.
It's not a party. It's just us. And they were like, no, but really, where are you going? And we were like, no, really, we're going to a parking lot in our luau attire. And we're
And
gonna
we
dance
played
and have a
luau
great time.
music, and we
And
literally
we did.
luau.
And that's exactly what we did. We went up to a parking lot. We luau in the parking lot, and it was iconic. But so many people were like, where is the where are you going?
I think
It was
we got
hilarious.
followed. Didn't we get followed? I swear that.
Yeah, I think so. And then when they saw we actually went to a parking lot, they were like, are you freaking kidding me right now? It's just like, that was the type of stuff Sophie and I were doing in university. It was awesome.
Just being silly.
Just being silly.
I will also stand on Coca-Cola though.
Oh,
If
you're
you
such a
like
Coca-Cola
Pepsi,
girl.
you're weird. Who likes Pepsi? And that's what I'll stand on. Of like, what? Who is
I don't
drinking?
know if I really have met a
Pepsi.
person who's more into Pepsi than
If
Coke.
they ask for a Pepsi, I'm always like, ugh.
Wait, what if they don't have Coke products?
And then you just
If they're
need
like,
to
hey,
drink
I'll
soda.
have a Coke. They say, hey, I'll have a Coke, and they say, no, we have Pepsi products. And they're like, oh, okay, give me a Pepsi.
That's fine. That's fine. Would I drink it? No. I'd literally say I'd rather have water. And
Okay.
Coca-Cola sponsor us. Thank you.
Sophie went through a lot of, and I think this is always inside
Addiction?
of you. There's always a Coca-Cola addiction inside of Sophie, but it goes through waves.
Coke
like there are
addiction.
certain a Coke addiction. There are certain waves where like she can not do it. But
I've been
then
doing
there
good,
are
I
waves
think.
when Sophie will have like a Coke every day.
It gets, it's a slippery slope. I'd like to say
Slippery
I've
slope.
really grown though, because there's currently has been a Coke in my fridge for like 3 weeks, and I will just
Whoa,
yeah.
that's impressive.
I've spaced it out where I'll like
Hey,
take
well
sips
done.
of it. Yeah, and that's on growth. And that's on
That's
growth.
on growth.
So come to us next week, Ansley, with something that you would really like to stand
I'll
upon.
try. I'll try to
Stand
come up with
on.
something. Stand on it. I'll try. I'll try to come up with something.
And then circle back to music. You teased us last week and you said that you were going to pick a Chris Renzema song. So I need a song to add to the playlist. Thank you very much. From, what was it, the album? Yeah.
So
Oh.
I'm gonna have to look at what it's called. I think the one that I really like has been Mana parentheses After All These Years.
Very
That's the one
cute.
I've liked. That's
Very
one I've been
cute.
into. I have something to add on
Okay.
the food front. Let me tell you. At this little cafe thing, one of my good friends made some savory scones. And if you know me, you know
She
Ansley
loves a
loves
scone.
a scone. Loves a scone. Oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for a scone. And so I was like, wait, I'm going to make a savory scone. I made,
She made.
here we go, everyone, basil parmesan scones. Let me tell you,
Let her tell
these
us.
were so good. These are such good scones. And I immediately have fallen in love with them. I ate 3 in one day. Should I have done it? No, I shouldn't have. I did it anyway.
Those savory
It was-
scones will get.
Oh
Who
my
needs Coke when you have
gosh.
savory scones?
That's what I'm saying. Who needs Coke when you have savory scones? Oh my gosh. They're incredible. So maybe I'll put the recipe on something.
Let us
One of
know.
our things
we'll put it on the
update.
Patreon.
Yeah,
that you
we'll
should
put it on
be
the Patreon.
subscribed to. Thank you so much.
There you go.
It's free.
And then you can make amazing basil parmesan scones.
Basil parmesan scones.
Basil parmesan.
Very good. Very nice.
That's
love
what I
that.
have.
We have 2 things to cover, listeners. We have a comment that said, because we were talking about the Oscars, I think, in a previous episode of how we didn't get, some Oscar nominees where we were like, huh? And it's all a scam, and they're all like, it's just because you know people and they nominate you. This fun fact is, until this year, voters did not have to watch all nominated movies in a category to vote. You don't even have
read
to.
that.
It's been changed
I read that comment and
for
I was
the
like,
2026. But like, that's
so
crazy.
shook.
Fun fact
No,
from Luke
shook
Melton.
by that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I
Now you know.
greatly dislike that.
We greatly
on a lot
dislike
of levels.
that.
You
The
want
Academy.
to know something that I learned this week?
What'd you learn?
This is not from our listeners, but I learned it. I learned that apparently when flying domestically, you do not have to show a child's identification, which I find concerning.
Right, because they could be using like a child that they kidnapped, right? Like, wait,
Yep.
really? That's interesting.
I don't know. That's what
A
Bridget
child's
told me.
identification, but you could just have literally kidnapped them, and you're like, "This is my
That's
kid."
exactly why I was concerned. Yeah. And that's why he was
that's on
concerned and
human
why Bridget told
trafficking?
me that. And I was like, that's interesting. I don't know how our airport security is so intense and yet apparently
I guess
not?
they're more worried about bombs than they are about humans trafficking. Anyway, and then we have a question of the week, Ansley. Where is it? D. If you have the opportunity, would you want to learn a martial art? And if so, which one would you learn?
And I told Sophie this earlier. This was so crazy to me because I saw this question today after school. And I had the same question I already discussed with my students today because I let them pick out a little question of the day. And one of them picked out this question. It was very similar. It was like, do you know any self-defense? What martial art would you learn? Or something like that. It was a question, something like that. So when we got to this, I was like, wait a second, deja vu.
Minute.
I already talked about this
Do
today.
you answer it for your people?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you say to them then?
I said, no, I don't know a lot of self-defense. I was like, very basic, very, very basic stuff. I was like, I don't know much martial arts because I did Kung Fu when I was like 9 for a very small amount of time. What I said I'd like to learn is a technical one. So I looked this up. I was like, I feel like technical ones would be the most appealing to me, which apparently is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a very technical one. And also Muay Thai is a very technical one as far as how you're striking, where you're striking. And I think that would be very cool, which is the one that Luke is doing right now. Luke and Danica do Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. Yep.
Interesting.
Not to be confused with the drink Mai Tai.
Muay Thai. Not a thing.
Muay
okay?
Thai.
A Muay Thai. I, upon having just, I guess, too much money upon moving to LA in the golden years, I took some Krav Maga classes for fun. And I really missed that. And would take again. They were very fun. I think like a mix of, I mean, we kind of did like kickboxing, plus like you gotta get your cardio up, plus like then getting like very physical. So it was fun. I liked it. I think actually if I wanted to be like proficient though in any martial art, I would pick jiu-jitsu actually, because that's like, who was telling me this the other day of like actually like service members, like police personnel should learn jiu-jitsu because it's how you can incapacitate someone / even knock them out if you want safely, right? And that's what police personnel when they get in those types of situations are trying to do, right? Is like take out the threat so that they can like deal with it, right? And I feel like that would be very useful, where we don't always have to be just brandishing a gun around, you know? It's like,
true.
I'm already like on top of you. Oh, and also I know how to not like choke you out and give you breathing problems that are going to send you to the emergency room. Just
Also
things that like should be, I think, basic training of like, you're going to be out in the field and
Jiu-jitsu is
have
a
to
little
know
more
how
like
to incapacitate
wrestling
people.
sort of vibes, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool, yeah.
You
know,
know,
that'd be
just
very
give
fun.
it a try. Just try it out.
Just give it a try. Shuffle some of our money. What if we shuffled
Give it a
some of our money
try.
into jiu-jitsu training? That would
For
be
police
cool.
personnel
Yeah.
/ mental health
Yeah.
training.
I
Just
think
give
that'd
it
be
a
cool.
try. Like, what's gonna happen? Uh-oh. people got trained. Like, dang it. Anyway, Ansley, I have a topic for us. And I have something that you're gonna talk to us a lot about here. And it's a very relevant
Should
topic.
I have been prepped for this? I'm nervous.
No, I don't think so. I think you're going to do great. I think you're going to do great at it. And I think it's very relevant for this day and age of, speaking of like connection and all of that. And I feel like a lot of our demographic is in this age range. How to make friends in adulthood.
Oh, I am really good at this.
From the queen herself, y'all. If you ever wondered,
really
how do I do this? Looking around, moving to a new place, or just looking up and being like, I kind of had to like maybe cut some loose of like people that just don't align with me anymore, or like people that I just frankly, friends are cool and it's no hate and it's no pressure, right? But you literally get to choose them, right? So sometimes you're like,
True.
I am unchoosing you. And no hard feelings, but
true.
I think, it's kind of dating. It's just like, actually, we don't mesh. You know what I mean?
We don't
So
mix
whether
and
it's, that you've moved to a new place, that you just look up one day and you're like, I need new friends. But then realizing like, shoot, how to, like, making friends in adulthood is hard.
It's a little hard.
Especially if you, like, are just that type of person where you're working your 9 to 5 and then you go to work, you go home. You don't necessarily want to be besties with people you work with, maybe you do, but if you don't meet people in the workplace, how do you meet them? Like, how do you know what I mean? So from your resident expert, I will say, Ansley,
dude, you like surprised me. This is a good topic. Wow.
I thought about it before I went to bed last night, and I didn't remember it until 5 minutes. I was like, what was it? It was so good. And then literally as I sat down, I was like, oh.
No, literally, I was just like, wow, I didn't know you had this topic prepared. Like, I'm so impressed you were just
it
like,
wasn't prepared, as I said. It came to me right before I fell asleep.
So
I was
impressed.
like, oh no, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? What are we going to talk about for these people? Ansley makes friends better and faster, I think, than I've ever seen anyone do ever.
Really? Wow, that's very
I don't know who else, I would put in your category of like, if she needs a friend,
honored.
she will make it, and it will be great.
I go find a friend.
She'll go find it. So let's maybe start.
I have so many
beginning.
things to say on this. Wow, I actually
should I just let you go then?
No, I'm ready. Nope, go. I'm ready.
Should we put you in some lanes? Let's see.
Yeah, let's do some lanes. You also have things to say on this topic, so
maybe, but it's gonna be y'all won't like it.
I don't think so.
So you need a friend. Have you ever been in that situation where you look up and you're like, shoot, I need. Okay, what did you do?
Yeah,
where
like
did
every time you
every time she
move
moves
to a new place,
right?
Like when you, like, oh my gosh, every year at summer camp you need friends, and then when you move, you need friends, and then when your friends move away, you need new friends. You know, like I feel like you're like frequently in a stage. I am anyway. Probably.
Well, honestly, in adulthood, I mean,
in
adulthood, you might get lucky of like you get a friend and then they just like stay, but you make friends in college, which then you leave, and then you go into wherever you're deciding to live, and you either stay where you've grown up, I guess, and so then you have that convenience of it, or you somehow are able to stay around and keep your college friends, or you literally have to start from scratch in your early 20s. I feel like most people have to do that. And then in your late to mid 20s, I feel like you kind of have to cycle through a new friend group because, you either change or just people, I feel like people move a lot in their early 20s.
They do. They absolutely
So suddenly
do.
you're looking up and you're in your late 20s and you're
lot.
like, oh, shoot, I need friends again.
Yeah, right.
Okay, go ahead.
Which starting
How do we do
over
it?
is not fun. Anyway, okay, so my first thing on this is, I guess, like, you got to scope out the playing field. How do you scope out the playing field? You have to go talk to people. It is not weird to walk up to someone that you do not know and say, hi, my name is Ansley, and strike up a conversation.
In a random coffee shop?
In a random coffee shop, what I would probably do is if you're like, that's not my style of friendship to walk up.
No,
to
I'm
a
saying
random
like
person in a coffee
who
shop.
are you going up? Like what gatherings are this that you're able to go up to
I would
people?
say people that I like know I will come into contact with again. So it could be a coworker. It could be like for me, a big pull is church. Like that is a big community pull for like
she has it easy.
The Christian community, right? Yeah, church is like such a big built-in community moment. So I would say church, I would say work, and I would say hobbies. So if you're not a religious person, obviously church is not going to be a thing for you. But then I would say it's work and hobbies. Like honestly, where else are you meeting people? Where else are you connecting with people? Probably it's those two things. So, for example, let's say your hobby is hiking. Let's say your hobby is going to the gym. Let's say your hobby is frisbee golf. Whatever it is, you need to go find where those people are and like jump in, right? So like if you look at a little, I don't know like where you find your community, but like in Kosovo, for example, Facebook groups are very popular here. So one of the first things you can do is just go on Facebook and find like hiking groups, and then you just join a hiking group, and you don't know anyone that's going to be there, and you just show up and you just say, hey, I'm here to hike. You're here to hike too. How fun. And then you just say, my name's Ansley. What's your name? And then you start talking to them. So that's what I would say with that.
That's so
with
scary.
working, again, same thing though. Like, you know you're going to see these people. You know you're going to run into them again. So it's not weird to just walk up to them and say, hey, I'm new here. Or, hey, I've seen you in our office. Or, hey, I've seen you blah, 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 blah. I don't think that's weird. I think
that's weird.
Like, yeah, honestly, one of the things I think about is when you're a child, how do you make friends? You walk up to a kid on the playground and you say, hi, my name's Ansley. Would you like to be my friend? And they say, yes. And then suddenly you're best friends. Suddenly you play together every day and you sit together at lunch, and it's just not weird. And I sort of think there's a similar thing that can happen in adulthood. For example,
we try to make it so complicated.
yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
I'm
it's
an
not
adult.
complicated. Yeah, it's not complicated because, for example, when I have found someone, when I have scoped someone out that I want to be said friend, I just am like, hey, I think you're awesome. I think you're really cool. I really enjoy talking to you and spending time with you. We should be friends. Let's go hang out. And it has never failed me. Never has it failed me. Nope.
It's
never
kind
has
of
it
like, it's like dating where you have to be like, hey, I like you. Do you like me?
Yep. No, honestly
scary.
though, it is. It 100% is. But like with a friendship, it's not.
It's
as
definitely
high stakes.
less low pressure. Like I think Nancy's right. If you were just obviously, you scope the person out and you're like, okay, we're getting along, we're vibing. Like I like them, they're cool, I'm cool. I feel like that it would just be such a 0 in 100 chance of like you looking someone genuinely in the eye and being like, hey, I want to be your friend, and then being like, no, you know?
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. Like, the worst that's gonna happen is like, oh my gosh, cool, and then they just never hang out with you. But like, again,
they're lost.
It's never happened to me. It's never happened to me. When I like I've scoped it, I'm like, oh, we're vibing, we're hanging, this is good. And then I'm like, hey, I think you're awesome and I think you're cool and I really enjoy this and this and this. They're just like, oh my gosh, what? Because other people, guys, I know this is gonna be a shock to you. Other people also want to connect. Other people also want friends.
Way.
And so when you
Sorry.
like, honestly, I think there is such a big stigma around this that I do not understand, where it's like there's kind of this assumption of like if I hold my cards out first, I've like
You're a weirdo that doesn't have
lost.
friends.
Yeah, like I'm a weirdo. I'm like, no, that's not true. Like,
Well,
and
also
even
it's
if you
hard
are
in
someone that
adulthood.
doesn't
Like
have
you don't
friends,
want to
big
admit
whoop.
like I need friends.
I'm
an adult,
lonely.
I need friends. Like
right, and also it's like, you know what,
No.
other people are going through the same thing, so why does it matter? And also, even if they're not lonely and they have a ton of friends, who cares? If you think they're cool, because another thing that I think people frequently, I hear people say this actually, is like, oh, I don't know if I can be friends with them because they already have their community. I'm like, okay, but they don't know you.
I
And
get
every
that though.
single
That is
person-
intimidating. When
It
you're like,
is, it is, but hear
they
me
have
out,
their
hear
own
me out.
shit.
But this is the thing. Hear me out on this. There is, and there, I have a quote of it from C.S. Lewis, but I can't remember what the exact quote is, that like every person you're friends with or every person you choose to interact with in your life brings out a different side of you, brings out a different facet of you. So it's kind of like, okay, sure, like, yeah, maybe they do have friends, but that doesn't mean that you can't like add something to their life and they can't add something to yours. Like, I just, yeah, I think that's something that's weird to me. So
it's weird.
that's my number one. What would you say?
Number 1. So, I have witnessed this and from Ansley and then applied it to my own life of like, if you are not the type of person it's hard. And I don't know, I honestly don't know if I could do it. Of like, walking up to someone and just being like, can you be my friend? So if you're not as brave as Ansley, here's another like side door that I've noticed, and I do this and it works. If you meet someone and you're like, okay, like their vibes, whatever, all you have to do, this honestly applies to dating too, if you're like, how do I date? Literally just ask them questions about themselves. Like, Ansley just like gets to know someone so well, so fast, and they like love her.
Honestly,
she's like,
I hadn't gotten to that yet.
I didn't know about that. Can you tell me more about this?
That's my secret.
That's 101.
Weapon is like,
if you don't know what to say, just say, oh, do you like this? Oh, I like that. Oh, that's awesome. So where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, you are from, I like it there. That's cool. Awesome. It's pretty good with fall. I love fall. What do you like to do for fall? That's cool. Oh, I love that. Pumpkins are great.
Yep. No,
talking to people is hard if you're not good at it, right? That's why charisma is a skill.
Sure.
But you don't have to be. You really don't have to be charismatic. Just ask them questions.
Yep. No, and I think that is Ansley Melton's go-to signature 101. I think one of the compliments I get the most, and it is my favorite thing, is people all the time say, you're so good at asking questions. And I'm like, awesome. That is what I hope I'm really good at. Because if you can be an interesting question asker,
you're an interesting person.
Well, there's a lot of things at play here, right? For one, people like to talk about themselves. Number 2, I would say one of my favorite attributes, this is maybe going to make me sound puffed up, I don't know, but like when we're thinking about like genuinely like things I enjoy about myself, is I really am a curious person, like a genuinely curious person. I don't usually ask a question that I don't want to know the answer to, and I want to know pretty much like I want to know about people. Like I really do want to know about people and their lives and their stories. And so for me, it is not hard to try to think of like questions to ask people most of the time, because I really do want to know. So I feel like when you ask questions, it just kind of like creates this very good thing, good vibe, good atmosphere, whatever you want to call it.
You're just communicating on a basic level. Like,
yes,
hey, I want to know more about you.
Yes, like you're telling them, like, I want to know who you are. And the more you ask a follow-up question, or the more that you like actually play off of a detail that they mention, that person is like, oh,
they're listening
they think
to me.
I'm interesting. They're listening to me. They are interesting because they're asking good questions. Like, it just creates a good thing, like just a good atmosphere right off the bat.
And maybe
really
it's
like
maybe that's a weird vibe, but like maybe have 1 or 2 prepped. I'm just coming to you from someone that maybe struggles to talk to people. You have like the 2 different sides of the spectrums here. Have 1 prepped. Because, sure, if you get very nervous and you need something to start off with, you can ask the boring ones. But at the end of the day, no one wants... That's another thing where, like, don't mistake questions for small talk. Of like, what do you do for work? Like, no one wants to actually talk about that. Do you want to talk about it? Like, especially if you work a 9 to 5, you don't want to be like, well, I'm a dentist. Like,
no, it depends, though, because if I said, Sophie, what do you do for work?
Oh, well,
you would probably
that's a
respond
case,
with...
Ansley. That's a different case.
No, because if somebody said, Ansley, what do you do for work? And I said, I'm a teacher. If they just said, oh, that's cool, and moved on, I'd be like, okay, why did they ask me that? That's small talk. But I think if you ask someone, what do you do for work? And I don't think this is the case for most people, maybe even all people, which is sad. But if it's actually something that they enjoy and are passionate about, you need to ask like deeper questions, like, why did you do that? Why did you decide to go into that field? Oh, that's very interesting. So what sparked that interest? And like,
well, yes, really sure, get the vibes. Dive, right? Like, be like, oh, do you enjoy that? And if they're spiral. Like, so I'm just an accountant. Yeah, sure. If they're like, oh, I hate my life, then obviously don't go there. But even something like, oh, I'm an accountant. Even asking like, oh, so how did you get there? Like, why are you doing that now? And maybe it's going to be like, well, I wanted to do this, but then I did, and then I couldn't. And you're like, oh, okay, so what about that first thing, like, really interests you? And then it kind of still is like, you can always do a little spiral. There's always a little, like, spiral you can go down. And even a basic question like, where are you from? You can do so much with where you are from. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Guys.
We don't know.
It's kind of my favorite game to play with myself.
How many questions can I ask this person?
Yeah, and I will say sometimes I do get negative things from people that do not like to talk about themselves, which is very far and few between. It's happened to me a few different times.
I think I'm one of those people where I'm just like, why are they asking so many questions? Stop.
Yeah, right. And so sometimes people are like, are you interrogating me? And then I just kind of laugh it off. I'm like, oh no, I'm just like a super curious person. And then I back off and I'm like, okay, and we clearly are not gonna vibe, because if they don't want to chat, then what are we gonna like? What are we gonna?
They're closed off. They're closed for friends. Another point. Okay, so we have conversation on lock. Be a good conversationalist. That's number one.
That's number one.
Just being like an open, honest, kind, curious person will get you far in life, right?
So true.
That's number two. You can meet people at the church. You can meet people at the work. And if not, join a club, right? Join a group. That's hard. But then again, if it's that type of, like, everyone's going to be new. There's always new people coming in and out. Figure it out, okay? So that's how you meet people. If you're also if you're less of a, hi, my name is, and you like need to like conversate with them, and I can't just look at people and be like, okay, be my friend. I found what is useful is, okay, we're vibing, I'm asking the questions, good. They're asking me questions, good. They seem cool.
Green flag.
I found
they ask you questions back, green flag.
Green flag. I find it's very, like, works wonders if you just say, like, flippantly of next time you hang out, or just whenever it's coming up, right? Oh, we should like hang out, or like, oh, you like coffee. It's kind of the same thing. Once again, it's like dating, where it's like, oh, yes, you like coffee? Let's go get coffee.
Yes.
Or like,
so
hey, we should do that sometime. Or like, just if it doesn't come up naturally, I say something like, oh, I'd love to see you again, or something like stupid, okay? Just figure out how you want to say it. But then here's the key. This is the kicker, actually. If they respond, which as far as you can read as a human, of like, you can tell they genuinely do want, like, if they're just like, oh yeah, sounds good. Like, okay, read the room. Like, they're not going to text you. But if it's like, we're actually jammed right here, and they're like, I'd love to, like, I love coffee. Let's do that. Pull out your phone. Here's the kicker. You pull out your phone and you say, actually, let me just like get your number. Okay, cool. Awesome. Are you free Tuesday? And you set the date right there.
Yes, so
and
true.
And there's the beginning of your friendship.
So
because
true.
I think that takes care of a lot of things of like, everyone's in their head, right? Everyone's overthinking everything. And unless you're, I don't know, you're just a closed off person and you need to work on yourself, and you're just like, yeah, and you can tell they don't want to hang, fine, on to the next one. Most people want to be friends, right? Most people want connection, like Ansley said, but everyone's scared. So that takes care of all the like, oh, is it too soon to text them? Or like, oh, maybe they actually didn't mean it and they were being nice. Like, if you say right there, give me your number, let's meet Tuesday, that takes care of all of the first awkwardness of like,
I don't know if they want to be my friend.
You know? This is what I think.
That's what we think.
Is what it really comes down to. This is the main thing that I would say is, especially as an adult, making friends and as an adult is way harder than it is making friends in school and university. It is just a different
ball
thing.
game.
This is the number one thing that I feel like Sophie and I are both saying, that it comes down to, do not be afraid to be the initiator. That is the number one thing that I would say. Do not be afraid to initiate. Whether it is, I walk up to that person and I say, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. It's nice to meet you. Whether that is, hey, I think you're cool and I think we should be friends. Whether that is, hey, you like coffee, I like coffee, let's go get coffee. Whether it is, pull out your phone, hey, can I actually get your number? Hey, would Tuesday work? Do not be afraid to initiate, because like Sophie just said, everyone's in their head. No one wants to initiate. Everyone's like,
they're thinking the same thing you are.
They're thinking
the exact same thing. And what's the worst that's going to happen is you're going to go home and be like, I didn't talk to anyone and I was just scared and now I have no friends.
And here's another thing. I think, if nothing else, initiating, I think, is a really beautiful practice to get into, because it makes the other person feel wanted. And I think that is like a very strong, powerful thing to be like, I am the one who is pursuing you. Like, I want to know you and I want to hang out with you. That in and of itself is a very strong resonator, I think.
That's literally a psychological law. What is that called? The law of attraction?
Well, there you go.
It's like,
true,
I remember learning
yeah.
about it, where it's like when
Right.
we keep going back to dating, but like it's the same for friendships of like when you realize someone likes you, it increases your attraction, towards
absolutely.
them.
Which I think is why when I want to be friends with someone, I just
tells them.
with like, hey, I think you're really cool. I think you are a
lets them
really
know.
awesome human being. I have loved the way that we've talked about this. Let's be friends. Because when you start with that, it kind of just puts the other person at ease. I feel like they're just like, oh,
It's cards
they
on,
like
yeah,
me.
it's cards on the table.
Yeah, it is. It's very just,
once again, everyone's insecure, so then they can just get out of their head and then be like, oh,
Yes.
it's fine. We're fine.
yeah.
She likes me.
And you don't have to go through like,
likes
does
me.
that person even like me? Like, right? Like, it just takes all of that off the table. And I think that's one of the reasons that I have started. I have done that for a really long time. But, like, that's one of the reasons I started doing it initially is it was, like, when you do that and you just communicate to that person, hey, you're wanted and you, like, I want to know you. I think that's just, like, huge. So that's the number one thing I have to say is do not be afraid to be an initiator. And and again, like, I know that this is not as easy for people who are not outgoing. Like, I know
Well,
that.
I was actually
going
to say, on the other side of it, right, of, like, it's empowering to, like, let someone know and, you letting someone know that you like them. On the other side of it, it's creating a different pathway in your brain of you feeling empowered, of like,
Yes.
I am
Oh, I
scared
so
right now.
agree.
I don't want to do this, but I'm putting myself outside of my
Yes.
comfort zone and I am facing this person head on and talking to them, and this is
Yes.
uncomfy, but I am doing it. Like, you don't realize how that literally rewires things in your brain of not only making a habit of your brain can then tell yourself, I've done this before, I can do it
Yeah.
again. That is a very powerful thing. But also empowering for yourself of like, your brain was like, wow, we didn't want to do that, but we did it anyway.
Yep.
So like,
Yep.
it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. You just gotta,
I agree.
1, 2, 3
and
and
also,
do it.
like, it's okay for multiple of them to be awkward and not smooth. Like,
You have
there's
to-
been
yeah,
many
if you're
times
not good at
when
speaking,
walk
you
up
have
to
to get
someone-
better.
Yeah, and you also, like,
to
there's been many
practice.
times when I walk up to someone and I'm like, hey, I'm Ansley, it's nice to meet you. We have a 5-minute conversation. I'm like, we're not vibing. This isn't going to be my person. And it's not, like, a bad thing, but then you just kind of, like, slowly, awkwardly make an exit. And it's like,
You
learned
learned what it's like to be an accountant. You learned a fun fact today. There you
Right.
go.
And it's just like, it doesn't have to be gold every time, but you can't hit gold until you try something, right? Like, you're not going to find a friend until you go try to find a friend. It's not going to happen.
Have to be a friend to make a friend. Ooh.
Have to be a friend to make a friend. So true. So yeah, I agree. Even if you're not outgoing, even if that really scares you to try to go do it, just like jumping in. I think what Sophie said, maybe like a club. I feel like a club, or a hobby of some kind.
Because
is
yeah,
maybe
you're
one of the
there
easiest
because you
places.
came because you're like, this is a knitting club. I like
Right.
knitting, so
I like
know
to knit. They
everyone
like to
here
knit.
likes
so
knitting.
if nothing else, you're gonna have a common ground.
What a
playing
cool
field,
scarf
right?
that is, my guy.
Yes, exactly. And like, I can't even tell you how many times I've been on hiking trips here, and I don't know anyone on this hiking trip. And then I just always kind of strike up a conversation with someone, and they're really cool, and we will like talk for 2 hours on this hike. Like, it's very chill. It's very fun. And then again, if the conversation peters out, it's like, okay, awesome, nice to talk to you. I learned something today. Cool. Yeah.
And
That's kind of what I have to say on that.
And that's on making friends. in
That's on
adulthood.
making friends. I think we crushed that.
It's hard and it's scary.
It is
but
hard and scary.
You can do it.
It's true.
It's something that I think I've realized of, that I think it's really easy in today's day and age to just be comfortable and set boundaries at the sacrifice of like community and connection. Like, I feel like, it's my safety and comfort and like over everything, and like I feel like that's such a dialogue these days of like, I have to set a hard boundary, and like, that's not my safe spot, and like, blah, 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 blah. And we and like, once again, always my thing is balance, right? Of like, obviously don't like put yourself in bad situations and let people walk over you, and like, there's a balance, and boundaries can be good, but I think sometimes in like this culture of like, I can never be relationships are uncomfortable, and friendships and community, and that takes work, and it takes going outside of your comfort zone, and it is so much easier to just stay at home every single night and like do exactly what you want to do and like grow yourself. But I think remembering that like true community and connection is going to take work, and sometimes it is uncomfortable of like, dang, I would really rather stay in right now and read and watch a show than go to like a brunch and hang with the girls right now. Like, I just don't want to do that. But realizing, yeah, that community actually takes work. I think that's something I had to like realize this year. Of like, it is an effort. Like I think that's also a thing that like isn't talked about, because it's not like pretty of like, oh, we're just friends, and it's like, no, I have to like sometimes show up when I don't want to show up, and you gotta like pull the introvert out of you sometimes.
Yeah,
and go to the party, and go to the mixer, and go to the function.
And like, yeah, it might not be your favorite thing ever, but it also might be something that was better than you thought it was going to be. And also some of it too, I think, is just experimenting with like, yes, there's times when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, but also there's times of like, okay, but where do I enjoy this community connection? So for me, I know that I enjoy smaller groups more than larger groups, and that's okay. So when I try to like do something that I think is going to be filling for me with friends, I'll do it in a small group setting. That doesn't mean I can't go do large group settings, and I absolutely make myself go do large group settings, and it's still often a really fun time, but like, it's just a very different sort of situation. So I love that. I love what you just said of like, we aren't always going to be like comfortable.
It's not supposed to be comfortable.
And I think life lived in a comfort box is not fun. Life lived in a comfort box is not filling. Life lived in a comfort box, I would say, is not a well-spent life. Sorry, I'll say it.
Hot take, sorry.
I'll say it. I think, yeah, I genuinely think that. So I love what you just said about that. Like, yeah, you kind of have to. You have to go show up for people and sacrifice and be uncomfortable, and that's just kind of part of the messy part of life, and it's fun.
You're welcome on. Once again, we tell you how to live your life.
Yeah. And I know it's going to be better because of. So.
Dude, that was a great topic. You crushed that.
Thank you. I was so
loved
excited.
That. I loved that topic. That was really good.
Thoughts right before bed are truly the best. I've learned, I mean, case in point, not actually learned, but I write them down, because I'll always be like, that's such a good idea. And now I wake up the next morning and I'm like, what?
You're like, wait, what was it? But
I found if I write them down, I'm like, that was a good idea.
Yeah, that was a fantastic topic.
Thanks,
well done,
girl. Thanks.
Crushing it.
Anything else that you have to say?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Extra by our spooky podcast song by Mike J. Nichols.
To